Good evening, ladies and gents, and welcome back to the Cool Kids channel. I am joined once again by my usual suspects. Y'all know who we are, y'all know what we do, so let's get into it. Deadpool and Wolverine. I can't really speak for everyone else, but this was easily my most anticipated movie of the year. Just to make it brief, the Fox X-Men series, while some of the movies are certainly better than the others, it's a franchise as a whole that has always been definitely sacred to me. It's what got me into the whole superhero movie craze. So, again, while some of the movies are better than others, I love the franchise. So I was really excited for this film on the prospects of how it could be in certain ways, like No Way Home, to be like a swan song for the Fox universe, while also testing the waters for integrating Deadpool into the MCU. What did I think of it? Get right into it. I loved this movie. Everything down to the humor, the meta edge, and just the action. It was all, oh my God. Like, I'm going to try and give something resembling a coherent review because I just came back from seeing this like half an hour ago. So if my thoughts seem a little scattershot, I apologize. But yeah, I'm still processing what I just saw. But I'm just gonna get right into what I think worked the most about this film, and it's the selling point. Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman. Fucking love them in this. Their chemistry was everything we always wanted to see. The fight, both fights were great, and just, oh yeah, everything that we wanted out of seeing their real chemistry in real life with their friendship, to see it translated on screen was damn near perfect. And the overall storyline, I think, is the most emotional of the Deadpool films. It's the highest stakes. It maintains the meta humor, all the crass fourth wall breaking jokes that we love to see, but it manages to have more of a heart and an emotion. You genuinely care about Deadpool trying to save his home universe. And then let's talk about the big thing. Hugh Jackman back as Wolverine. While I certainly get why it definitely pissed off a lot of people, because I will agree with everyone, Logan was the perfect send off. So to bring him back, whether it was actually bringing him back to life from the Fox universe or it being a variant as is in the film, yeah. But I was on board for it because the fact that they were considering that, yeah, we know how much people love Logan, so we're not going to touch that, or at least so we thought. The opening credits were fucking wild, but yeah. But nevertheless, that let's just address that for a minute. How are they able to do what they do with the opening credits, Deadpool fighting the TVA with Wolverine's corpse, and not have me walking out in a raging frenzy? Fuck this movie. I had a blast with that opening sequence. It's a nostalgic little callback to X2 with having Bye 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 from NSYNC in there as the song going over it. So then let's get into the villain. Both villains, actually. What was his name? Yeah, what's his name? British villain, the TVA. He was pretty cool. He had an interesting plotline. He doesn't just want to work for the TVA; he wants to be the TVA. I thought that was interesting. Oh yeah, Paradox. Yeah, Paradox, probably the best TVA character out of anything we've seen in the MCU so far, and that's saying a lot. Even with what we've seen in Loki so far, I've only seen the first season. I have not seen the second. That just shows you how just just how freaking fatigued I've been with the MCU. Again, I apologize if this shot, but I am still just processing, trying to process what I have just watched. But yeah, let's get it focused. Now let's talk about the cameos. Every single cameo worked, and that's the other biggest compliment I can give this film, is that the cameos were able to work in a way that weren't just for the nostalgia, the member berries. Like, story wise, it actually has a purpose, because even the way it's written for the characters in the film, they want their ending, they want their swan song. It manages to be a respectful a respectful callback and send off to not only the Fox X-Men universe, but just Fox everything. The Fantastic Four, Elektra, Blade. Like, my theater was going fucking ape shit when Blade show up. I personally went more ape shit when Channing Tatum showed up as Gambit, but maybe I'm more biased because I'm more of an X-Men fan, but it was still cool to see Blade. It was nice to see him taken more seriously after the last time we saw. We don't talk about that. I'm just kidding. That movie's actually a lot of fun, but I digress. So yeah, scattershot review aside, I love Deadpool and Wolverine. It was everything I wanted as a lifelong fan of at least the Fox X-Men universe. It had the heart, the charm of all of the previous two films, and as a swan song to everything Fox has done in the past, because it's something that people take for granted nowadays. If these first few films from them were not a hit, if Blade was not a hit, if X-Men was not a hit, if Spider-Man was not a hit, we would not have the cinematic universe we have today. So the fact that this film very lovingly called back to what started it all was very respectful, and it was just very nice to see. Even if I'm not personally as into some of the others like Fantastic Four or Blade, it was still just respectful to see them call back to what started it all. So, what does this save the MCU? What could really permanently save the MCU? Let's be real. They're going to have their highs, they're going to have their lows, because let's be honest, even in the Infinity Saga, not everything was that great. Iron Man 2. So they've always had this slump. It's just obviously worse now than it was during the Infinity Saga, but I digress. This is definitely one of the biggest shining points that the MCU has had in a long ass time. I absolutely loved it. It's one of the best MCU films in a long time. And more importantly to me, it's one of the best X-Men movies. I have not loved an X-Men film since Logan, so I'm going to give it an A minus and a 9.5 out of 10. Again, I apologize for the scattershot review, but again, I'm still trying to process what I just saw, so I apologize if it was kind of unfocused on all over the place. And with that, I give it to you, cinematics.
Well, I hate to disappoint you, but I am not the cinematic Sterling variant with hair. As you can see, I'm still bald. Anyway, I love the first two Deadpool movies. The first one brought a new energy that the comic book genre needed, and while the second one wasn't as strong, I still thought it was great. So why wasn't I excited for Deadpool 3? First, it was Deadpool's first movie in the MCU, and I was worried with their track record, the MCU and Disney were gonna fuck it up. For all we know, they were gonna make it PG-13 and shit, do their typical Marvel garbage. Second, Hugh Jackman was returning as Wolverine. Like many others, I felt that Logan was the perfect send-off for him, and Hugh Jackman should have stayed retired as the character. It seemed like Disney was just banking on nostalgia, and it felt desperate. However, the trailers looked good, and I started to feel a little more optimistic. I watched it last night with a full theater, and while I think it's the weakest of the three Deadpool movies, I'm happy to say I liked it, and I had a blast watching it. Let's get this out of the way. The chemistry between Deadpool and Wolverine is perfect. You can tell Ryan and Hugh, they naturally slip back into their roles. They're having an absolute blast with each other, playing these characters. Their banter, their action scenes, the dialogue is all wonderful. It's such a perfect team up and was what we needed after X-Men Origins Wolverine. The action scenes are a blast to watch. I especially love the fight scenes between Logan and Deadpool. Both of them, they were just fucking badass. And what I'm going to say is going to be shocking for me to say this about an MCU movie. I thought this movie was fucking hilarious. I know, it's weird. What is a common thing, Zach? What is one of the common complaints I've had with the MCU lately?
The humor.
The humor. The humor did not piss me off for once. I will gladly say, from the opening credits to the ending, I was laughing my ass off throughout this movie. Something tells me that'll be temporary. I also loved Deadpool not holding back and making fun of the MCU's downfall. The cameos were very entertaining, especially Wesley Snipes returning as Blade, Channing Tatum finally playing Gambit, Chris Evans returning as the Human Torch. Like that little bit where he said it was like where Deadpool was like, all right, he's gonna say it. Avengers of Flame on! Huh? And it revealed it's not Captain America, it's the fucking Human Torch. That was perfect setup. I loved it. Soundtrack is still entertaining. The villains, Cassandra Nova and Paradox, were entertaining and very intimidating. And there was a lot of heart behind this movie. And Reynolds and company did a good job making Deadpool's intro to the MCU feel special. And thank fucking God they kept that R rating and did not hold back. And lastly, I want to say, I loved the opening. I loved before the movie plays the little joke with Deadpool and Wolverine, where they hear the phone ring, and Wolverine threatens the audience like, turn your fucking phone aside, I'm about to show us so far, you motherfucking ass, you have to answer through your goddamn throat. I hope that sticks around. I'm actually going to be sad if that gets taken away. There are a couple of factors that prevent me from loving this as much as the first two Deadpool movies, though. I'm never going to stop complaining about Disney's and the MCU's wonky CGI. It's still quite noticeable. It still doesn't look great. Disney, for the love of God, please stop holding your VFX workers hostage, stop rushing them, and give them time to improve the effects. The other issue is the plot and the story was a little convoluted. And then there were some plot holes. Which, it's typical with the multiverse saga. Like, they'll try and explain all these infinite universes and these different variants of all these characters. And it just leaves a lot of plot holes into stuff that doesn't really make sense. Like, why is Logan the thing that's holding the universe together? Like, why that version of him? Because he died in the future. Unless, because if that was the case, then if Professor X wiped out all the mutants, do you think maybe Deadpool could have gotten wiped out? Who the fuck knows? And there was another cliche the MCU has been doing, and it's been driving me nuts. Trying to get the villain, them thinking they got the villain's trust, just for the villain to say, "Oh, fooled you," and then tries to kill them. They did it in Guardians Volume 3. They did it in the Marvels. And both times it was stupid, and it's stupid here. But overall, despite the wonky CGI and the convoluted plot, I had an absolute blast watching Deadpool and Wolverine. The action, the humor, the soundtrack, the cameos, the heart, and the chemistry between Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman make this a movie worth watching in theaters. However, I still don't believe this movie will save the MCU. We have known since 2021 the MCU can provide us with a good movie and then give us a shitty movie. So, it's going to take a lot of convincing for me to say, oh yeah, the MCU is back on track. They're going to have to show me. They're going to have to prove it. Because Captain America Brave New World does not look great. I mean, come on, guys. What's the movie that's going to save the MCU? Thunderbolt? Please. But I'll give this movie a solid, light 8 out of 10. Go check it out.
All right.
Right, dude.
Let me pull up my review. All right, then. So, just like with my man right here, my expectations honestly were kind of mixed. On one hand, I do love the other two Deadpool movies. In fact, I'm probably one of the few people that actually prefers Deadpool 2 over the first one. However, with that being said, I was also very worried because one, I thought Logan was just like everybody else. Logan was a great send off to this character, and just feel like Hugh Jackman coming back, bringing him back out of retirement was just kind of disrespectful. And plus, a lot of the MCU movies just haven't really impressed me a whole lot. I mean, okay, yeah, you do get some exceptions, like Spider-Man No Way Home, Guardians 3, Wakanda Forever, etc. But you also have I think there's a lot more shitty ones. You got a Quantumania, you got that thing we will not talk about. So you just honestly, a lot of the MCU movies nowadays just fail to impress me. However, I was still willing to give it a chance. In fact, I saw it, and then I did end up seeing it Thursday afternoon, although unfortunately I ended up seeing it by myself since my fiance wasn't really up for going to the theaters for a while, and plus, and my brother, he's out of town, but he's going to see it tomorrow. But anyway, I will say this: after seeing it, while I don't think it's as strong as the other two Deadpool movies, I will still say it's still a fun time. It's not perfect; it has its flaws, but it's still fun. Easily, the best thing about this film is the chemistry and the comedic duo between Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds. They both give great performances like they usually do, and I love how they play off each other very well, and they have great comedic timing. A lot of the jokes, unlike most of the MCU movies nowadays, the jokes really worked here. There are a lot of jokes you kind of expect for a Deadpool movie, like the clever fourth wall breaking and just jabs at Fox being bought out by Disney, and Deadpool being part of the MCU. But there's a lot of other ones that just had me laughing for this one. The action scenes are a lot of fun. They're just as sorry. The action scenes are a lot of fun. They're just as violent and over the top as the other two movies. In fact, my favorite action scene, actually my two favorite action scenes, one was the fight between Deadpool and Wolverine, and the other one was the fight between Deadpool and Wolverine going against all of the Deadpool variants. So I will admit that was a lot of fun, especially when you got a Madonna song playing in the background, which usually I'm not a fan of Madonna, but it was really funny with this one. But even some of the cameos, I really like even some of the cameos. I'll be honest with you, I was not expecting Wesley Snipes to be in this movie. So, but it was just so cool to see him back as Blade, and unfortunately, it will probably be the only good thing come for Blade because I feel like the MCU, they're gonna fuck up Blade again. They're gonna fuck up Blade, probably worse than Blade Trinity, but I digress. And I will say that it does feel like a good send off to not just the original X-Men films, but just like all of the Marvel Fox films in general. Now, as I said, this film is not perfect. I do have some issues with it. First of all, just like what my man said, the CGI was noticeably wonky, so it did look very off at times, and that is a common problem that with I have with a lot of the MCU movies nowadays. It's like for some they had like the Disney, they have like and Marvel, they have like these big budgets, yet they pretty much torment their animators, and pretty much the animators have to give their half-ass job. It's just honestly, it just doesn't look right for here. So, and another thing is that another thing about this movie that I have issues with, I feel like the story was a little too all over the place. The reason why I prefer the other Deadpool movies more is because I feel like they had more focus to them in terms of their story, and they just didn't feel so scattered. I get we're dealing with the multiverse and all, but I feel like I get you could deal with the multiverse, but it's just like it felt a little too convoluted and messy at times for me. But I just felt like it just loses focus for the story. And plus, I kind of wish that maybe they realized things could probably turn around a little bit more for the MCU, but we'll see. Then, honestly, I feel like I'm with my man. I'm not gonna say that the MCU is back because you're gonna have to take. It's gonna take more than one movie to be able to convince me that the MCU is back. You're gonna convince. It's not. It's gonna take more than just one movie. So. But overall, despite this being the weakest of the three movies, I still find this to be a fun ride. If you love the other movies, I'm pretty sure you'll still really have a fun time with this one. It still has a lot of the fun, violent, over the top action, and the witty humor that you would come to expect from a Deadpool movie. What more can I say except let's fucking go? And with that, my score is a 8 out of 10.
Am I good to go?
Yep. Rome
Sweet.
finally joining us once again. You have the stage.
Say his name and I appear. So I'm going to start with the negatives first before I get into the good stuff. I just wanted to talk about more of the negative, just to get that out of the way. I guess the biggest negative I had about this movie is the fact that they touched Logan. Just in the beginning, because that's not just a good movie, but it was a really big emotional investment for a lot of fans who love the movie. And yeah, I know they did cheap laughs, but it just didn't feel right that they had to go there, and then nothing really paying off to Logan. Something was just didn't feel right to me that they were just doing that for cheap laughs. And just give the self-knowledge, yeah, we're touching it just for the fun, and it's like it's a fun scene, but it just nothing felt right to go there, and there's no payoff to it. Just the fact they said they were going there, and then just I don't know, just didn't feel like it just didn't feel like they cared about what Fox or what Hugh Jackman and what they did for that Wolverine version. I don't know. I still wanted to say that was the biggest negative I had about the movie. Another negative I had about the movie was the villains. I just feel like you just didn't care for them. There's no big threat. I would have loved if they did two variant Sabretooth going up against Wolverine and Deadpool. I think that would have been fun. I think Liv Schreiber and what's his name? Tyler Mane. I think the two of them working together go up against Wolverine and Deadpool would have been much more interesting because you have an investment with those villains and two villains you just never heard of or just had no investment in. And Paradox, he reminded me of Agatha, just another Agatha character. You just, all these crappy jokes, no one's laughing, very awkward, just didn't care for him. I just didn't like that stuff about the villains. I just felt like it's just never felt like a big threat. Just felt like I was watching a movie where it felt more of a filler than an actual story that I was supposed to care about. But yeah, that's the only negatives I'll really say about the movie. I think that those are the things I just wanted to get off my chest. Overall, the movie is fun. It's Disney and Marvel does a thing with the cheap pops of getting celebrity pop with Henry Cavill as Wolverine, just get a cheap pop, which is great. I was glad to see Cavill in something. I do love the jabs towards Warner Brothers and The Rock and to Fox. I thought those were really, really cool, really good, and really fun because they never got their stuff together and how that whole thing went. I thought this reminded me of a Lethal Weapon movie with Deadpool and Wolverine. Just their chemistry, their buddy cop, two different opposite characters, and they just bicker and just have a good time. Just have a good time bickering and just things like that. I thought the action scenes were great. I thought one of my favorite fight scenes was the scene with the Honda bus, the Honda car with the two of them fighting and the Grease music is playing. I thought that was pretty fun and funny. I was really happy that I didn't see any of the spoilers besides the Daphne Keene stuff, which I was really disappointed in because I feel like that took away her big moment when you finally see her appear. Where that could have been something bigger if they didn't spoil it in the trailers. I lost it when I saw Blade. I was never expecting to see Wesley Snipes back as Blade ever again or anything. Never being in a movie with Ryan Reynolds again. Just the fact he's in a movie playing Blade again, which is a shock to me. I thought that was really fun. Overall, the movie was a fun movie. It felt like a fun theme park ride. I can go back and watch again and have a good time with. And it did all the things that you expect Marvel Studios to do with Deadpool and things like that. They didn't care about. I think this movie had more fucks in it than any of the other two Deadpool movies. There was so many people dropping F-bombs left and right. But I had a fun time. I had a good time watching the movie. I just wish that they just did something a little more with. I just wish they cared about Logan and really kind of respect that because it didn't really serve any purpose to really them acknowledging Logan and doing the things they did with the opening. It still bothers me till even after seeing the movie. But overall, I had a fun time watching it. I had a smile on my face. I love all the jokes with Deadpool and Wolverine, or Ryan Reynolds and Deadpool, and just the stuff that they were doing. I think the meta stuff really worked to really make this movie look good and felt like you're having a fun time and things like that. But my score overall is an 8 out of 10. It's a good movie. I had fun watching it. I think a lot of people are gonna have a good time watching it. It's not the best Marvel movie. It's not the best Marvel Studios movie. It has some really cool moments. Just I feel like nothing really is gonna pay off besides just a filler type movie, in the past, like Marvel's done in the past.
Mark, my man.
I'm not strictly through, but at one point, Deadpool tells someone, "Welcome to the MCU. You're joining at a bit of a low point." No shit. Too bad this doesn't do a lot to change that, but it is still fun. But at least it's fun, and it is still probably going to make $1 billion or close enough to it. Wade Wilson, of course, played once again by Ryan Reynolds, sinks into depression after being turned down by the Avengers. If that sounds out of character, it really fucking does. Losing his girlfriend in the process, and he hangs up his tights and gets a normal, boring job like the rest of us, selling cars, no less. When the TVA comes calling on his birthday, however, Wade learns that his universe is scheduled to be terminated immediately by a rogue agent, Mr. Paradoxically Stupid, or whatever the fuck his name is, played by Matthew McFadden. And he goes in search of a Wolverine variant, the one who died in Logan, having apparently been the anchor being of that universe, causing his death, causing it to unravel. Once he finds one, a particularly surly Wolverine, even for Wolverine, of course, once again, Hugh Jackman, who let his entire team down, the rogue agent sends them into the void, where they must convince or force Charles Xavier's long-lost sister, Cassandra Nova, played by Emma Corrino, who rules the wasteland like a Furiosa reject, to help them get back and save Deadpool's universe. If that sounds convoluted and more all over the place than confetti at a ticker tape parade, it is. In fact, you don't know the half of it. The story is really just a mess here. It's and I get that he's making fun of overly stuffed. I get that he's making fun of overly stuffed multiverse films, but the fact that you're making fun of a overstuffed multiverse film doesn't change the fact that you still have an overstuffed multiverse film. So, I mean, I get that that's part of the point, but it is still overstuffed, and it is still too long, and it is still all over the fucking place. I have to say, the Logan joke the joke using his dead body, that didn't quite set well with me either. I mean, I got it, so I was like, oh, okay, haha, you're just doing it literally, but I mean, come on, is that really? Come on, dude. But I mean, and honestly, this does kind of undo Logan. It's like they're doing Logan over again by making Wolverine in need of saving again, making another Wolverine in need of saving when we've already seen that in Logan. it would have been better off, honestly. He's introduced to introduce a new Wolverine into this universe and recast him and use another one. So anyway, but I mean, then again, that wouldn't have been Hugh Jackman, and that would have made him $1 billion. But but also the way they try to have him sacrifice himself at the end is, really freaking convoluted, and not convoluted, but it didn't, I didn't feel any of the emotional power that you did, Zach. Not at all. I didn't feel any kind of emotion toward that at all, because I mean, you already knew he was going to try to do that, and you knew that Deadpool was going to, I mean, it was all predictable. It just felt like, I mean, I didn't feel it at all. And, the fact that they both survived, of course they did, So, but I will say, what saves it from being a total disaster is the fact that it is really funny. It's really funny. It's a lot of fun. Despite the fact that it was overstuffed, I did enjoy seeing all the cameos, particularly, spoiler alert, I was surprised to see Election, but the one that really shocked me that I had no clue about was seeing fucking Wesley Snipes back as Blade. That was badass. I mean, I was telling my kids, like, that's Blade, that's fucking Blade. My daughter's like, shh, Dad, shh. I'm like, I don't care, that's fucking Blade, that's Wesley Snipes, shit. That's fucking Passenger 57, bitch. Shit. But no, the film is a lot of fun despite that. So, I mean, I'm pretty happy with it at the end of the day. It was decent, it was okay. So my score is a kind of mediocre, but still okay, 6 out of 10. No apostrophe in there.
All right. But yeah, let's all talk about that. I know that for Rome and Mark, it didn't sit that well with them, but for us here, like, how were they able to do that and not piss us off?
I mean, they weren't trying to do it in a tasteless way.
Exactly.
Yeah. It like I think I come to terms with it. Like, it's just something Deadpool would do.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of, like, honestly, you kind of expected him to do it in that way. So
yeah,
It was a
John,
good joke that worked.
yeah.
because like
Sorry,
obviously
what you
our biggest worry was that they were just like gonna literally resurrect Logan, and that's how it was gonna be. But thankfully, it wasn't. So
yeah.
but yeah.
I mean, it's, I took that line from John, I mean, where he said before, you can make fun of yourself covering yourself in shit. He's by covering yourself in shit, but at the end of the day, you're still covered in shit. So, I mean,
And I gotta ask, did anyone notice this as the nostalgic callback to X2 that it actually was?
I don't think so. I mean, I didn't say.
Because you remember in X2, they're escaping in the car, right? There's the moment with Wolverine and Rogue, and Power's like, I don't like uncomfortable silences. He's going through the radio, you weirdly hear, bah, bah, bah. Like, that had to be intentional. Like, how else would it not be?
I honestly forgot about that part because I fucking hate that song. I find it most. So,
but that moment was that moment was so fun, dude. Like,
I mean,
but
you kind of expect Deadpool to pretty much be dancing to silly pop songs at this point. So,
I mean, the funny thing is, you said it didn't piss us off, but I mean, Rome's and I are down here like, what are we, chopped liver? I mean,
Right.
we're not maybe pissed off per se, but I mean, it's like at the same time, it's just kind of dumb, I mean, it's like, come on, really? Did you really literally have to do it? I mean, come on.
Right. I mean, what did it pay off to?
Yeah, nothing. Not a damn thing.
Just to say, oh, we can do it because we have we bought Fox, we got all the Marvel movies now, and we can fuck with this and crack up a good joke, and you guys will have a good time.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know, just it just didn't sit well with me, like Mark said. It just that's the only one. That's like the biggest thing that bothered me.
Exactly.
And at the end, you see Wolverine and X-23 together again, like a Disney movie. Hey, happy ending. the happy ending you got compared to the Logan movie.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. It's, for me, it's just reading too much of what Marvel Studios and Disney does now. It's just, I don't know. It just feels like their ego's so high they think they can do no wrong.
Yeah, I mean, it had all the worst tendencies of the recent Marvel films being, overstuffed multiverse films, and here they are doing the same thing. And I mean, yeah, it was fun seeing some of the cameos. Even I'm the Juggernaut, bitch. I mean, I kept saying that too every time I saw him. I'm the Juggernaut, bitch. So
I'm gonna say something, and I don't think it's gonna be a hot take, but as a multiverse film, I like this more than Multiverse of Madness.
I mean, yeah.
Oh, 100%.
I agree with you with that.
I don't
Because
think.
don't get me
I don't
wrong,
think so.
I loved the Professor X cameo, which X-Men fan I'm bound to, but I think this was better because, like I said in my review, the cameos were utilized better in a narrative way, and they were able to get a very respectful send-off. That's one of the highest praises I can give. This is how they, like I said, they very lovingly call back to all the franchises that Fox started it all with.
I mean, my thought was like, this was their response to the complaints that there wasn't never enough cameos in Multiverse of Madness. That was the other biggest criticism with that movie being a multiverse. Like, there was never enough cameos.
Eh.
And the
So this
fact
one
that
just gave you everything you wanted.
Some people's disappointment with Multiverse of Madness, that was sort of their fault because Marvel didn't really promise anything. That was more or less just their own expectations. You know what I mean?
Because
I
my
mean,
problem
I
with Multiverse of Madness is this. Multiverse of Madness to me is a mess. And with the cameos, this is the first time we see Mr. Fantastic in the MCU. And you turn him into fucking spaghetti.
Well, of course they do. What are they supposed to do? Turn it into a fucking Fantastic Four film? I mean, shit.
Like, I just think it's fucking stupid. This is your first time you're introducing him, and you immediately just kill him off.
I don't see how you could say that film is a mess and this film is not.
I said the plot was convoluted and messy.
Yeah, but this is, I mean, there's convoluted and messy, and then there's this. I mean,
yeah, the plot did very feel all over the place, not in a way that it is liked, but it was jumping everywhere.
Oh, it was that was like even as soon as I left the theater, that was like my biggest issue was just the fact that it felt just all over the place.
Well, for me, like what saved the movie was just being very meta, very self-acknowledging, and that's really what really like kind of saved the movie from being like a total mess.
Mm-hmm.
And just having Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman in it, and their chemistry really helped as well.
Yeah, I mean, Ryan Reynolds, this movie wouldn't work without Ryan Reynolds. I mean,
yeah.
Without his sense of humor making fun of it.
And plus, I'm going to quote a line from Ryan Reynolds in this movie. Get fucked, Rise of Skywalker. Suck it. This is how you do fan service in a way that doesn't just come off as cup your balls. Here's the member berries.
By the way, I do love how they make fun of the fact that in the comics in the comics Wolverine's like really tiny.
Oh yeah,
oh, dude, that was like
awesome.
one of the biggest.
Yeah.
Just
the
that
whole
slew
all the Wolverine variants were awesome.
especially the Henry Cavill.
Yeah,
That was
I
funny.
use Henry
That was
Cavill with
funny.
Wolverine now. I will not
Just
be
that
satisfied
whole-
with it less.
Like that whole slew of Wolverine cameo fests and the opening were like the funniest parts of the movie to me.
Yeah.
Probably the one where Nice Pool references the proposal. That's all you say? What the fuck?
I want a Hulk versus Wolverine movie. Just from that cameo alone, I'm like, I want more of that.
Yeah.
Honestly, what did you guys think of like when Wolverine, like at the end where Wolverine just pulled on the mask? Like, what was?
Dude,
That was
I cried.
badass.
That was
Oh, yeah.
so awesome. Like honestly, I remember like as soon as I saw that, I was like, yeah, Zach is definitely gonna wet himself 100% when he sees this.
I cried. I cried so much, dude.
I
Dude.
take here. I thought it looked stupid as fuck. I think that stupid as fuck. That could only work in animation, man. I'm sorry. That might look stupid as hell in real life. No one,
I thought it worked,
look at that. And partly, yeah, the beard he had didn't. It looked like shit with the beard. But I mean, and maybe it was the color. I don't know. But I mean,
The white eyes threw me off because it was just weird
Yeah.
seeing like the white eyes, instead of having his own eyes.
Yeah. I guess they tried.
Oh,
to
but
make it-
dude, I
Yeah.
cried so hard, dude. Like a lot of the almost all but one of the moments in this movie were like tears of joy, like emotional. Like the whole bit at the end where it looks like they're gonna die and all that, then their flashbacks that
You know
had
they're
me
not gonna
tearing
fucking
up like
die.
a
Come on.
motherfucker.
I'm the fuck on.
Because
know
you gotta understand with me, like I said, because like I said, the Fox universe is sacred to me, even though some of the movies are better than most. So it's an easy target, but yeah, it makes me an easy target, maybe, but yeah, it got to me, man. It really got to me. Now let's talk
Yeah,
about.
I wouldn't say a moment. I wouldn't say anything in this movie made me cry.
No, it didn't make me cry.
Not at all. I didn't see it emotional.
I mean, just seeing Blade showing up was a big like mind blowing for me. Just seeing him back and see him interact with Wolverine, Hugh Jackman was just, or sharing the same scene with them was just
Yeah.
like a boom kind of out of my just was never expecting that. That really was like holy shit! Like this is actually happening. They're actually
Mhm.
Wolverine and Blade, Wesley Snipes and Hugh Jackman. They're talking like they're in the same scene. That was
Yeah, that
you
was
know,
cool.
that was awesome. That was
Yeah,
probably
exactly.
my favorite moment of the whole movie was just those. Because
Exactly.
I love the first two Blade movies, and it's just seeing that was just never expecting
Right.
it.
I think it worked for Spider-Man too, obviously, because I mean Spider-Man.
It works with Spider-Man. It works with Deadpool.
Very
It
cool.
honest to God, it wouldn't work with Batman
No.
There's no way.
Well,
it
I mean,
would
I
work
think
for
I was
that.
going to say the only time I think it worked with
or Green
Batman
Lantern.
is with the only time it worked with Batman is with in the Dark Knight when they had this like the sonar suit or whatever the fuck.
Hmm.
But so I think that looked pretty good when he had the
I think
Well, they justified it why he had the white eyes in that movie.
exactly it was justified. It made sense. So I mean that made
Yeah.
sense. But I mean, yeah,
I think if they did Terry McGinnis in live action, the white eyes could work.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, Batman needs to have you need to be able to see his eyes. They need to be expressive. You know, you need
I
to
think Robert Pattinson did a great job with expressing under the mask.
he was
Absolutely.
just okay for me. I mean,
Mhm.
he's still not
Yeah.
far from my favorite. But you're welcome, bud. You know I got you.
Now let's
But-
talk about the future. Not of the MCU, but where, if anything, do we want to see it go from here with Deadpool? Like, do we think there's more? Do we want more? What do y'all think?
I pretty much would be fine with it just this being like the end because this not only feels like the end of Deadpool's story, but just the end of like all of the Fox Marvel movies. But seeing how this is going to make a shit ton of money, Disney's not going to allow that, and they're going to want to
Yeah.
milk this shit until.
No
There's going
Toy
to be-
Story for it.
I mean, I'm
Or I guess
saying,
in this case,
what Rome said, I'd be interested in that Wolverine versus Hulk film.
Yeah.
I'd be down for that.
Yeah.
I'd be down for that. Shit.
oh, Wolverine versus Hulk. You know what they got to do? Have it be Edward Norton's Hulk, man. His Hulk was just more.
Edward
vicious
Norton.
They
than
wouldn't
the
do
one.
that.
Ed
Norton's
Norton's
not
done.
doing
Yeah.
that. He's
I
not.
know he won't. But I'm just saying I would want that, man, because I like Mark Ruffalo.
Just
up
saying,
until he's
wish you
been-
one hand, shit in the other, and
Up until he's been cucked in She-Hulk, but I digress.
Hmm.
But I would just prefer Edward Norton. He was the more vicious Hulk overall. Because that's the thing, right? He only got the one movie, and even though freaking Mark Ruffalo was the mainstay in the MCU, I still think Edward Norton's take as Hulk was more vicious visually and physically
I mean,
than
if they go
everything.
back
He actually felt like the Hulk.
if they go back to the way he was in Avengers, or even Civil War, where it was, Hulk and Banner were two separate people again, rather than fucking
Yeah.
Professor Hulk, which is fucking stupid.
Yeah, dude, they cucked him in She-Hulk, man.
God, that pissed me off. That
sniffed him.
alone
Hulk
was
is dumb
the
as
main
fuck
reason
now.
I fucking hated Infinity War. I fucking hated what they did with Hulk. I would never.
I mean, I just want to see the Hulk back to being grounded, just like Incredible Hulk, just make him grounded again. That works.
Grounded, exactly. Make them grounded, get those rights back, and fucking exactly.
And,
I mean, North's not going to come back.
Because the thing is, like, I don't love the Incredible Hulk movie, like at all. I mean, I like it, but I don't love it. But I do like Edward Norton's performance more than I do Mark Ruffalo's. I think he has the better screen presence.
Yeah.
Of course, yes.
Oh yeah.
you know,
He's a
But
box
Mark-
office star.
but Mark, what about the Hulk in one of your favorite MCU movies, Ragnarok?
Oh, fuck that. Hell no. Hell no. Fuck that movie. Dear God.
Big monster.
Hulk like fire.
Exactly.
like raging fire.
But Zach, back to your question, they definitely
gas.
teased you Deadpool's future with Secret Wars because they never paid off to the Thor and Deadpool scene that Deadpool was asking about when he saw it on the TVA screen. So I think they're definitely teasing something with Deadpool's Secret Wars and all that other stuff.
That could go either way. It could very much just be a self-contained joke in the film, or it could very much be leading to something. I would be interested to see if it's something to lead to.
I think it is because you have to remember, Blade survived, Elektra's still alive, Gambit's still alive, X-23 is still alive, Wolverine's still around. They're setting something up with this. They're setting something up in Secret Wars, where I think because they even said Deadpool. They were taking the whole story was like we're taking Deadpool out of his world, bringing him into the MCU because he's going to be very important for something. So they definitely tease what his future is going to be, which to me is Secret Wars. It's just what it is, we don't know.
And that's the interesting way that I think Deadpool and Wolverine will be able to work. It's clearly leading to something, but at the same time, because of how the movie ends, he's reunited with everyone, it could still work as a self-contained third and final Deadpool movie all the same, if that makes sense. Do y'all think so?
It's not the last Deadpool movie. Now that they have the rights to it, they're gonna come up with another one, or they're gonna do something else with Deadpool.
I mean, I would want to see more, just so long as they keep doing it right, and so long as Ryan Reynolds keeps the rights and all. But
I just don't know they're gonna bring back the supporting cast. Like I know they had a fight to bring back the supporting cast for this movie. From the first two movies, they had to bring back they had to really get them into the movie.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. But I mean,
now that they got him back for this one, I feel like it shouldn't be that much of a hassle if they want to do it again. But I guess we'll have to see. But
I mean, I'm just glad I'm just glad Ryan had control instead of Kevin Feige.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
PG-13 mess.
Because I did see someone, I can't remember who or where it was, bring up, maybe Deadpool could be the new Stan Lee for the next few films, as far as he's the one that makes little appearances every now and again, like what Stan Lee did. That could be funny if done well, But yeah,
I mean, honestly, I'd be up for it. But I also think after a while, people might think that'll get
annoying.
Kind of old.
Yeah.
Yep.
If it's just him saying, "Hey, I'm in this movie," then he just leaves.
Yep. Yeah. And then we gotta address Hugh Jackman. He came back for this. What do we think about his future?
He's back.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I would prefer to see someone else try and take the mantle, but at the same time, he was just so perfect as this character. It's gonna be hard to find.
I was gonna say honestly.
Him.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's like even if you were to get somebody else to play Wolverine, I feel like everyone's just gonna compare him, saying, "Oh yeah, not as good as Hugh Jackman." not as good as Hugh Jackman. You know,
It's
always trying to compare him to
understandable.
Hugh Jackman.
It's understandable, but
do that anyway. But you just gotta fucking do it. I mean, shit.
Right.
it's understandable. But believe it or not, this will be shocking to y'all coming from me, the biggest X-Men movie fan. But I would actually be more lenient to the idea of recasting, because just so long as you stay true to the character and they're not just trying to be Hugh Jackman, like give it their own flavor, and so long as and even the look factors in too, so long as they look the part, then I'm fine with the recast. But here's the thing I want to say about Hugh Jackman real quick. I think it'll be worth it seeing Hugh Jackman again, most likely in Secret Wars, if it means we get some epic moment where him, Blade, and Spider-Man, all the big titans who started it all are all on screen together in some way. We need that. Or if not need, that could possibly top the stuff in this movie.
I'd be up for it.
Because we all know they have something planned for Secret Wars.
I feel
I'm
like it
not
has to mean something. It can't just be like, hey, let's have them together just for the sake of it. It has to mean some importance. You know, kind of like when I look at Endgame and Infinity War, when they did stuff, when they did big things, it meant something. You felt like this was the right timing. Like you know, Chris Evans with Captain America and Avengers Assemble, it was the right time. It meant something. So if they have the three of them together, it has to mean some importance to the movie, not just, hey, we're together, we're cracking jokes. We're there for something important to do.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
Kinda-
To me, from what I know about, I've never read the comic, but to me, from what I've heard, Secret Wars kind of sounds like a dumb idea, ripped straight from fucking shit. What am I thinking about? Mortal Kombat. Sounds like MCU Mortal Kombat, for crying out loud.
Mortal Kombat?
I mean, from what I understand, I mean, isn't it just them taking them from the universe and pitting them against one another?
I wouldn't know. I've never read Secret Wars.
No, that's what it is. They're picked for a secret war against some kind of powerful being or some kind of powerful character, and they all work together.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, look, you could always replace Wolverine. I don't give a fuck. They said the same thing about Michael Keaton, and they were able to find somebody to replace him with Christian Bale. And they said the same thing about Christian Bale. And then Ben Affleck came and blew everybody the fuck away. I mean, everybody said no when Ben Affleck was cast. Then he blew everybody's fucking minds, you know, especially with the guy.
And then even though you don't love him as much as I do, people said the same thing about Robert Pattinson, myself included. Yes. And then they brought back Michael Keaton in The Flash.
Yeah.
And it was a joke.
Exactly.
Dude, it was.
Wait, I got an idea.
Yeah.
I think of Jack Nicholson.
For any of
Because
that,
Jack
but
Nicholson
that
for 20 years was you couldn't see anybody else as a Joker, and then you have look what we see now. We had Heath Ledger, Joaquin Phoenix, Jared Leto. Good or bad for Jared Leto, but we had, you know, eventually we're going to see another Wolverine, another actor playing Wolverine.
Like, I don't blame Michael Keaton, by the way, for any of that. But yeah, he was pathetic in that movie. The usage of him was very pathetic.
The less we say about the movie, the better.
As messy as this movie could be, at least this did the multiverse a little better.
And the actors actually cared. Like,
not a little, much better.
Hugh Jackman. At least Hugh Jackman wasn't like, yeah, I'm Wolverine. Yeah. Like, he still had the passion, at least. So, yeah.
I think Keaton had the passion for Batman. I just think the script was never great, you know, for what they were trying to do.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And there's so many other issues too with that movie.
Yeah, it's Warner Brothers' fault for why he was so pathetic in that movie. But yeah, where do you guys think? By the way, I guess it'll be one of the last things we say before we wrap it up. Is that where do you guys think this ranks among all the multiverse movies we've been getting over the past few years?
That would be kind of tricky.
Yeah, Hard,
Are we
to,
including-
hard to tell for
Yeah.
right now.
Are we including No Way Home with this too? Because that's also a multiverse.
Oh yeah, not
movie.
just Marvel, but like everything, like in DC or hell, even if you
Oh,
want to include
Everything
everything.
Everywhere All at Once is the greatest multiverse film, Zach. Everybody,
Oh yeah, I was about to say hell,
Boom.
even if you want to include everything everywhere all at once, yeah.
yeah, that's a
Well,
multiverse.
then I
That's
mean,
multiverse,
then
yeah.
this doesn't compare to Everything Everywhere All at Once. Then
Everything
Yeah.
Everywhere All at Once won a fucking Oscar.
Yes, it did, and it
Yeah.
fucking deserved it.
Exactly.
But I don't. Yeah, in terms of anything multiverse, everything everywhere all at once has all of them beat. But I will say, in my X-Men ranking, I currently have Deadpool and Wolverine at number 8.
That's fair. That's a good spot for it.
I'd have to think on where this is going to be.
What?
Oh, Zach's got his fan zone face.
I do think the first X-Men is better.
The first X-Men is better. Jesus.
It's none of my Mount Rushmore for X-Men movies. Like I still have none in this order, but Logan, X-Men 2, X-Men Days of Future Past, and the first X-Men movie.
Let me see what my
I would say first class instead of the first.
You know,
X-Men.
Devin,
First class is another one.
all
Yeah.
I have to say to that is
Dr. Octagonopus.
so pretty
First
much.
class is
okay.
Deadpool,
So pretty much for me, I have my top 5 X-Men movies so far as X2 at number 5, Deadpool 2 at number 4, First Class at number 3, Days of Future Past number 2, and Logan's number 1. So I would probably put this maybe along the lines of maybe 7 or 8. I'd have to really think about it. So again, I probably would need some time for this to marinate before I can actually put it in.
But that just shows, right? That just shows, right, how everyone is going to be talking about this film. Hardly anyone's going to talk about it as the 34th MCU film. We're talking about it as the final X-Men movie.
No, he even says "Welcome to the MCU" in the movie. He talks.
Well, yeah,
about
I mean, yeah, obviously the MCU
this is part of the
implications.
MCU. It is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a farewell to the Fox universe, but this is still an MCU film. I mean, that's not even up for debate. That's not even a matter of.
Oh yeah, the MCU implications matter, obviously, but it's probably the fanboy in me talking.
Did anybody stay for the credits to watch the
I did.
behind the scenes? I loved all of it.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
Oh yeah, I did
That
too.
That was my
I
favorite
loved it.
part. Honestly.
Oh
Me too.
yeah. Did you guys also see the after credit scene?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
That was
Yeah.
fucking hilarious.
that was funny.
it was funny. I mean, it justified Deadpool. Like, no, he really said that. I didn't make this up.
Yeah.
Gotcha, fuckface.
But they fucked another Fantastic Four character up in a multiverse. And Mr. Fantastic and now Johnny Storm.
Although you know
That-
what I just realized. You know what would have been even funnier than just killing off the Chris Evans Johnny Storm. What if they did that with one of the X-Men or one of the Fantastic Four from that Josh Trank piece of shit?
What if it was
Fuck
Michael B.
you.
Jordan?
That would have been hilarious.
That would have been so funny.
Or what if it was both of them? And they're like
Or,
fighting, or you could have a little gag like they're fighting over who's better. No, I'm better. I was Captain America, bitch, so I'm better.
What if it was Miles Teller? Is Miles Teller's Reed Richards?
Oh god,
That was
Yeah.
funny.
Yeah, it was funny.
But I was happy to see Chris Evans back as Johnny Storm. The minute
See
I
him
saw
turned into spit.
I saw him
See
take the
him
hood
turn
off,
into-
I was like, Johnny Storm. Like I just knew it was Johnny Storm just by the hint of the outfit behind the cape he was
I
wearing.
did not honestly,
Yeah.
and that shocked me. That's why I just busted out laughing when he said "Flame on." I busted a fucking gut.
Because I love the first Fantastic Four movie that they did. I really appreciate that movie.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
the Roger Corman
didn't
movie.
love it, but I mean, I didn't hate it, love it, but I didn't hate it either.
I didn't. Yeah, I thought both of the Fantastic, the original, the Tim Story Fantastic Four movies. I thought they kind of played a
They
little
weren't that
too. They played a little too safe for me. So they just
Oh yeah,
became
I
kind
like
of
the
forgettable.
Fantastic Four movies. Like,
I know Ben really likes but Ben really likes both of them.
Like, I'm not a Fantastic Four expert or even a fanatic, but I like them because they're fun. There's a lot of camaraderie with the actors and a lot of time is actually spent, with them adjusting to their powers. It's not like the other piece of shit that just skips all that.
Yeah.
So,
Zach, could you pull up John's comment? Like a joke that Deadpool you can make.
That would have been awesome. By the way, Jay just got out of the movie.
Oh, he did.
And then Marvel is like, Cable, like, I'm not racist, you dumb cunt.
So this is what Jay said. Did it save the MCU? No. Was it a great movie? Yes. Did I laugh my ass off? Absolutely.
Awesome.
I wouldn't say it's great, but it is funny at least. So.
Oh, it's definitely funny.
Like,
Yeah.
I don't think it's a great movie. I don't think it's one of the greatest MCU movies of all time, but it's good.
Yeah.
I mean, it's definitely one of the best comedy movies I've seen this year.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
not saying
Yeah.
much. There's not that many good comedy movies anymore.
How do you guys
Especially
feel
last year.
How do you guys feel the rewatch factor will be on this? Because a lot of people I'm seeing online, even positive or negative, saying that this movie's only novelty will be in theaters as the event film, and just watching it at home will be like bleh. I don't think so, but what do you guys think? Do you think it'll have that effect?
I can honestly see that. I can see that happening because with big event films like this, where it's just, the attraction is seeing them on screen together. Once the newness wears off of that, then, you're just left with a messy film that's still kind of funny.
Like,
Yeah, I'm with Mark because Spider-Man No Way Home, when I watched it at home and continue watching it every now and then, you can see so many flaws with it, and you're just kind of questioning everything.
It gets a like. I mean, I loved No Way Home when I first saw it in theaters. I saw it 3 times, but with each viewing, it kind of dwindled on me. I still stand by. Besides the plot holes, I still think the first 20 minutes is cringeworthy.
Mm-hmm.
But everything else, bridge scene onward, I liked.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The perfect way I can describe the Tom Holland's trilogy: 2 strikes, and then a home run.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Just watch. They're
Absolutely.
gonna call the next one Spider-Man Home Run. Home something. They're gonna keep that going. But
Homeless, homesick.
How was everybody's theater? Was everybody cheering, excited when?
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
dude.
Oh yeah, there were.
My
That's good.
IMAX showing was packed, which I'm gonna gloat that, man. I finally got to see something on IMAX, biatches. I've been
Awesome.
Yeah, so
7 days.
I saw a late night showing, so the theater I was in was packed, but it just didn't have when Wolverine put the mask on. I was one of the few people who cheered, so it just felt like I don't know. It was just like not everybody was like. Maybe they're half tired because it was a late night showing, but it just didn't feel like that excitement like I was hoping to hear.
Everybody in my theater cheered when he put on that mask.
Even the Blade moment,
dude.
I was one of
Like
the
I
people who was
said,
like screaming, "Holy shit!"
Yeah, and like I said, I cried because Wolverine, like Hugh Jackman especially, was one of my childhood heroes. So that's like something I never thought I'd get to see, man. So
Zach, I'll say I got a question for you. Were you able to get the popcorn bucket? The
no,
Wolfusy?
dude, they
The
were
Wolfusy?
out.
The
The thing is, they said they ran because we saw it today, the 27th. They said they ran out of all of them on the preview night showing on the 25th.
Oh damn.
Oh wow! I was able to get a movie cup from the movie.
I would have gotten it, but unfortunately, I'm broke at the moment. So
And Jay gave the movie an 8 out of 10.
Alrighty.
So Jay was able to make it for this one.
One of us.
In spirit.
Yep. We're glad you liked it, Jay. But rewatchability factor aside, like what we're just talking about, like, what is this one you'd like enough to buy? Like, it goes without saying for me.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
gonna buy the fuck out of this.
Yeah.
but-
I would just the Blade stuff alone was just like because I love Blade and seeing what's in the back. I would buy that movie just for that because I was just that just seeing him in that movie was 10 times better than what happened in Blade Trinity. And if this is the last
Oh,
we see
yeah.
Blade, at least he had a better send off than the movie he was in. Previously,
Exactly.
you know, so
Exactly. Because I
Um,
mean, he was treated like a joke in Blade Trinity.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I love
And here's
the little
thing I wanna
shot
ask.
between Ryan Reynolds and Blade, and Deadpool and Blade, with the knowledge that Blade was not nice. Blade Snips was not nice to Ryan Reynolds in that movie.
Yeah.
And here's
I,
the
I
thing
love,
I
I
wanna
love how
pretty
they.
much end off on.
I just want to say this.
Oh.
I wish they made. I wish when Wesley Snipes came on, I wish they made fun of how he didn't want to open up his eyes, and they CGI'd eyes onto him in Blade Trinity. I wanted them to make a joke about that so bad, but they didn't.
Did anybody care for
I
Elektra
was
being in this
waiting
movie?
for that. Like, I got the joke.
Do what?
I got the first joke,
Sorry.
but like,
No, what were you saying, Rome?
I was gonna say, did anybody care for Elektra being in this movie? Because I feel like she was like the least nobody cared kind of cameo.
I mean, the thing is, the fact that I didn't hate her in Daredevil, I thought she was
Yeah.
okay, but I did not like her in her spin-off movie, Elektra. She was bored.
Yeah,
She
me
sounded bored as shit in that movie. And it
Some-
didn't help. And it didn't
Yeah.
even help that the movie sucked even worse.
I mean, despite that joke she had about Daredevil, she sounded like the same thing with her own movie, just very plain, and I just didn't care for her.
Yeah, she just.
I kind of like
Yeah.
her in this, though. She seemed more natural in this. Like she wasn't trying to force it. She seemed like she was just
Right.
kind of more natural in this.
yeah,
But I mean, honestly, the Deadpool,
I liked her.
the Daredevil joke was funny as fuck.
That was
Yeah.
worth it though.
If
Yeah.
anything,
Oh God.
Just for that
anything, and
movie,
this is all-
just for being in this movie for that joke was worth it.
Oh, yeah.
yeah. If
Yeah.
anything,
Sorry,
and I'll
Zach.
totally admit this may come off as recency bias, and it's only because I haven't seen Elektra or Daredevil in years, but I think this might be her best performance as the character. I don't know if that's reaching a high bar or anything, but that's what I think.
That's not real. That's not really saying much. And I liked.
Yeah.
If you do want to watch the Ben Affleck Daredevil movie, watch the
Oh
director's
yeah, I
cut.
saw it years ago.
Oh,
I
yeah.
saw
The
it- I
director's
haven't
cut
seen-
is actually
Yeah.
Yeah, I've
'Cause,
only seen the theater cut, and
the theater
so
cut. I mean,
that's
yeah,
kind of what I grew
it's
up
not.
on.
I mean, the theater cuts. It's not bad. It's still good, but
Yeah.
the director's cut's a whole other level.
Yeah, I'm trying to get around. I wanted to get around to the director's cut because I wanted to watch all of the old Fox Marvel films to see if there's anything that this movie would call back to, but I just wasn't able to get to it.
Oh God.
But yeah,
Hey,
I do want
You know what cameo that I wish they probably would have put in? The Punisher.
I was thinking of that too. Yeah,
Thomas Jane's
Thomas
Punisher.
Jane. Yep.
Jay would have been awesome.
Because we got a
I
cameo
heard
of the
rumor.
Russian.
Yeah. We did get a cameo with Russian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello. It's just come out. Robert Downey Jr. is coming back to play Doctor Doom for 2 Avengers.
Yeah,
I heard
but
about that,
yeah.
But
Why?
I'm not buying it.
Why?
Is that
No,
official?
the Hollywood Reporter is reporting on it.
Oh
The-
shit! So
Kevin
that is
Feige
true.
also officially confirmed the Russo
So-
brothers as directors for the next Avengers film.
Here's the thing, right? I like
Marvel, you are pathetic.
Hey, I love digging
That's-
up people's graves.
Yeah.
I'll say this real quick. I like the title Avengers Doomsday, but why bring
Oh,
back
what the
RDJ? It's just complicated. But yeah.
Let the man
Okay.
speak.
Okay. Full screen me right fucking now
Go,
with this
go,
fucking
full
Doctor
screen.
Doom bullshit.
Breaking news.
Bro, you just won a fucking Oscar. Why in the ever-loving fuck are you going back to Marvel? Do you need another boat? Do you need more alimony money? What do you need? What do you fucking need? You literally just were in the greatest fucking movie of last year and probably of this fucking century. Yet, you're fucking going back to fucking Marvel and playing Dr. fucking Doom. What in the... Are you taking drugs again? Sir, are you fucking taking drugs again? Because this is frankly bullshit. Anyway.
Thank you.
So apparently, Avengers 5 is now called Avengers Doomsday.
You know,
Yeah,
You know what?
like,
You know,
I
it's
like
funny.
the title.
Yeah.
Here's what's hilarious. I mean, bringing back the Russo brothers, that's already sad and pathetic desperation on Marvel's part. But
Like,
the
didn't the
fact
Russo
that they
brothers?
But the fact that they bring back Robert Downey Jr. and they're giving him a decent send off in Endgame just to bring him back as Doctor Doom, like that is so fucking lazy and pathetic.
Am I
Reynolds-
really gonna defile this grave for money? Of course
I
I
can
am.
course I am.
smell the desperation from here.
Preach,
Marvel
Jack.
is
Preach.
Well, I
fucking-
remember-
Preach, Jack.
Like,
Yes.
I
here's
remember
the thing,
listening.
right? You know,
Can I say something real
'cause,
quick?
you know, I gotta. Oh, Rome.
Sorry,
Let Rome talk.
just one thing.
Yeah.
I remember hearing about Jeff Snyder talked about it a few days ago that the rumor was Downey Jr. was going to come back as Doctor Doom, but a variant of Doctor Doom, like not the Doctor Doom. Supposedly, he's playing a Robert Downey, like just a variant of Doctor Doom in the multiverse. So when they supposedly that's what it is, but I still think it's really
He's gonna
stupid
be
it's
in
coming back.
2 Avengers
Yeah.
films. I mean,
Yeah,
Like, I don't know if you guys would agree with this, but you know who I wanted to play Doctor Doom? Michael Fassbender.
That would be cool.
I could see it.
I could maybe.
And one of my friend Alex, he said Hugo Weaving would be a good Doctor Doom.
Ooh,
I mean, he would. I mean, he was Red Skull.
yeah,
he'd
that's
never
what I'm
come back
saying.
though.
Like,
I mean,
I
because he hated.
know either
yeah.
of the Mickelson brothers would have been perfect. But they already.
But Mads
had
Mikkelsen was
Mads
the villain
Mikkelson
in,
as Kate Sillians.
He was
So
Hell,
Lars
he was
Mikkelsen,
Weird Eyes guy
fuck
in
it.
Doctor Strange.
hell, I would have even taken
Silly.
freaking Giancarlo Esposito as Doctor Doom. But
Oh,
now,
no,
but
but he's gonna
Now
be
they waste him as Sidewinder in Black Captain America. Yeah, because that's the character we want to see Giancarlo Esposito as.
the king of the Serpent Society.
like, man, because I was
Fuck you,
excited,
Disney.
right?
And you
I was
wonder why I'm
excited, right, to
boycotting your
freaking-
bullshit.
Yeah, because I was excited, right, to see Sam Wilson take the mantle as Captain America because I really like his character. But everything I'm hearing about this movie and then seeing that awful fucking trailer is just killing any hope I might have had for this flick. I'm still gonna see it, but I have like no hopes by this point. I know, right? Current Marvel having hope for something. What a not having hope for something. What a shock.
I didn't
It's
have
just-
hopes when they were doing so many reshoots that the fucking budget ballooned up to $400 million.
so Avengers Doomsday is going
There's
to
no.
feature Fantastic Four
They
and the
re-
Thunderbolts.
I had no fucking hope for fucking Black Captain America when they were giving us every fucking supporting character and villain from the fucking Hulk universe. Why are we getting Betty Ross? Why the fuck are we getting Sam Ross? Why the fuck are we getting the leader? Is this a Captain America movie or a Hulk movie? Why are we getting
And
these
hell, there's
fucking
gonna
characters?
be a red Hulk in the movie. This is basically a Hulk movie with Captain America in it.
Yeah, essentially.
Fucking, like, seriously, like, this is a Captain America movie. Like, how many fucking villains are we gonna have in this movie? We have Red Hulk. We have we have the Serpent Society. We have someone called Ruth, and we have the leader.
The leader.
Mhm.
This is more fucking cluttered than freaking
Spider-Man
Spider-Man
3.
yeah. Just when you thought it couldn't get any worse, man, like. And like, I actually got to talk about like, did y'all like Sam Wilson's character? Like, did you see? Were you happy that he was going to take the mantle?
I think he earned it.
The
I
thing
mean, Falcon
is,
and Winter Soldier was
it's-
really
I
good.
have
I mean, kind of mixed because I
I
really
have
like the Bucky Barnes Captain America.
it's a whole discussion because
Yeah.
the thing is with
Oh.
I have a lot of elements when it comes to Sam Wilson. The thing is, one, they didn't build him up properly. They didn't build him up. He was in what, like 3 movies, and he was this bland generic character nobody gave a fuck about. So there was that. Then on top of that,
Oh,
take
Yeah, but-
you're making him not he's not Falcon anymore. The thing is, he was special about Falcon. Now he's gonna be sloppy seconds Captain America or Black Captain America because it's an easy joke to make. So he's not his own character anymore. That's the thing. He's not his own character. And then on top of that, it just like I agree that he should have been Captain America over Bucky, but it's just there's a whole discussion along with it. It's just like Sam Wilson. I like it, but I also don't like it. It's very Falcon is his character, and then now he's just sloppy seconds Captain America. Where it's just
All
like,
right. So Jay's wanting to come on, but with my account, it only limits to 6 people.
Well, I mean,
you can take me off.
yeah, I was gonna say John was
Okay.
wanting to come in just for one thing. So
I just wanted to rant about Dr. Doom. So you can take me off.
All righty. We'll see John in a little bit. All right, we are going to have Jay's thoughts, the world's biggest geek's thoughts on Deadpool and Wolverine.
Wait, did Devin not say what my thoughts? Because I would like to talk about it if like.
I mean,
I give like a
You can
brief,
elaborate if you want.
yeah, he just gave a brief. You can talk about it more if you want.
Just give your reactionary.
Yeah, did Deadpool and Wolverine save the MCU? No, it did not save the MCU. I think there is plenty of preparing, but I will definitely say this was a pleasant movie. I owe Sean Levi a huge apology because I really honestly didn't think that he could direct this movie the way that he did. But yeah, the first 5 minutes, the bye montage, that was when I knew, oh yeah, this movie's about to be really good. Because that was a pretty funny sequence. And as somebody who grew up with the 20th Century Fox like Marvel movies, I would definitely say this was a great like finale for that universe. I enjoyed seeing Elektra and Blade and Johnny and even Channing Tatum as Gambit. That was pretty cool to see. I kind of wish now that we got a Gambit movie when it was announced that Channing Tatum was playing the character. But as far as the leads, Deadpool and Wolverine, their chemistry was really great. I definitely do think that I definitely am glad that Wolverine was one, respected, and two, they just they didn't touch the main universe with Logan and everything. And even though the villain wasn't like the greatest, when is Deadpool really like about the villains? It's more about the camaraderie with Ryan Reynolds and the one-liners and the fourth wall breaks in the action. So this movie was pretty good. But can we please talk about the fact that I don't like the fact that why is Robert Downey Jr. playing Dr. Doom? That is stupid. That is stupid.
Really stupid.
Because when I got on my phone, the first thing I see is Avengers Doomsday, and I'm like, okay, that's fine. Okay, I could have picked a better title, but okay. And then I see, Robert Downey Jr. is back as Doomsday. I'm like, oh, so they're actually doing it. This wasn't a rumor. And I instantly was like, I don't like this at all. I don't understand why Marvel can't just let certain actors go. I'll play devil's advocate for Hugh Jackman because that was completely different. But bringing back a major contributor like Robert Downey Jr., who pretty much started the whole MCU, just to make him Dr. Doom because, hey, we're going to bring in a popular guy that everyone knows so we can make money, it's dumb. Why can't we get an actor who actually is from – because isn't Dr. Doom's like main – one of his core characteristics is that he's from – what was the country that Dr. Doom was from?
Liberia?
Shit.
No, I forgot what it's
Latveria?
Liberia.
Isn't that supposed to be like one of Dr. Doom's like core characteristics? Is that he is like very?
He's a dictator.
He is a dictator. He's very prideful about his dictatorship in Latveria. Why are they doing? We could have gotten. With Nairobi movies, I mean, he picked multiple actors that could play Doctor Doom, and all of them would have been a lot better than Robert Downey Jr. Not saying that Robert Downey isn't a great actor. That's not the point. The point is, why is he playing this character? I don't understand.
Because
why.
Marvel or
Because it's a multiverse and they can have an excuse to bring him back.
Yeah. Because Marvel is acting so pathetic at this point.
Then you also need to keep in mind. In a way, Dr. Doom has diplomatic immunity.
Diplomatic immunity.
It's like why are they? And again, I will also play devil's advocate for Chris Evans, because here is the difference between Chris Evans coming back and with Robert Downey Jr. Chris Evans already played before Captain America, played a character in the Marvel movies, and him coming back made total sense because it was funny. And he was a part of the Fox universe, so that made a lot of sense. But with Robert Downey Jr., it's like, why? It just makes Endgame not mean anything anymore. It feels like ever since Endgame
to make sense.
Don't question it because it's the multiverse. That's basically their excuse.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Yep.
Like, we could have just, recasted Kang, but hey.
Nope. No, I guess not. I mean, Kang is done.
Like, I really don't understand what was the issue with just recasting Kang.
Oh God.
Yeah.
God, what is it?
Look in the chat.
My God.
Fantastic Four first steps.
That is the dumbest.
Fantastic Four babies.
We make
Is
our
that-
dreams
that
come
is-
true.
Is that the real title?
Fantastic Four babies will do the same
Real?
for you.
All right, we're all talking over each other. Shut the fuck up. You're annoying.
Yeah, I saw that title when I was on my way home, and I'm like, what? Just call it the Fantastic Four. I mean, adding "the" does make a difference because we haven't had a movie actually called the Fantastic Four. It's just been Fantastic Four or Fan Four Stick.
Zach, you better have that clip.
Say that again. It's fantastic.
And there's four of
One
us.
sec.
The Human Torch and the Torchettes.
Mm-hmm.
All right, what was it called again?
Fan
It was
Four
called
Stick.
Fantastic Four First Steps.
Now comes the part where we throw our heads back and laugh. Ready?
Ready!
But also, like, to stray away from that for a second, I will say though, why did the credits of the Deadpool and Wolverine, when they showed the montage, that actually kind of had me sad. I was a little sad because, like, even though they showed Fan Four Stick and X-Men Origins Wolverine and X-Men Apocalypse, like, even though those movies are not well received, that was my childhood. I grew up on the Fox movies, so that was kind of sad seeing that universe just not be there anymore. And it's all because of Disney.
Yep. Yep. I definitely cried when they did the montage during the end credits, man. That was really
them showing
really
Fan
nice they
Four
did
Stick
that.
was actually surprising. I was not expecting to see them to use clips from Fan Four Stick.
Yeah. But yeah, so I think we can all agree the future of the MCU may not look bright, and whether or not we think this is great or not, I think we can all agree. At least we have Deadpool and Wolverine for now.
One more thing. After the reveals we just learned about, Hall H, I'm gonna appreciate more of the Fox movies because we're not gonna get anything like that ever again in terms of serious and readiness, and I feel like that's gone now.
Everything's a joke.
Yeah.
Rome was right because, like, even with the movies as goofy, like we had Electro, we had the Tim Story Fantastic Four movies, we had Fan Four Stick, we had some of the bad X-Men movies. At least they took themselves seriously. Well, I don't know. I never saw Elektra, so I can't really play a devil's advocate for that one. But they took themselves seriously.
Elektra was boring as shit.
That's why that's why I actually respect Fox with as Marvel movies, because they took themselves seriously. Yeah, they were campy. I mean, just look at X-Men: The Last Stand. But they took themselves seriously, and they weren't like as overly comedic. And now, I mean, Deadpool. That's different though. Deadpool has always been funny. And that movie actually did make me laugh. But I hope they know what they're doing with Fantastic Four, because this is their last chance. This is literally their last chance and doing Fantastic Four right.
I mean, do they even start filming Fantastic Four yet? Because like Superman's only
they just started filming.
Oof.
Apparently, they showed some footage. I don't know how, because they just started, but
wow.
Yeah, they showed like a promo picture of Galactus, and they showed the like their vehicle or their ship.
The Fantastic vehicle.
Yeah, that.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you.
Definitely forcing the CGI people to work extra harder since they're under short deadline.
Yeah, Fantastic. Yeah, Marvel is Marvel's back is low-key kind of against the wall, because you have a lot of things, you have a lot of things, against them. You have Fantastic Four with Pedro Pascal's casting. You have also, with Galactus being the first villain and having a Silver Surfer who isn't, or I don't know his name, but and it's that you got that. Then you have Captain America. I know you guys were talking about Captain America earlier. I'm excited for that movie, but at the same time, it's not going. I can already predict that it may not do well, considering that it's not Chris Evans. Plus, we have a not white person playing Captain America, so that also is another disadvantage. You also have Dr. Doom being played by Robert Downey Jr., which again I don't understand. You also have Kane being not there anymore, so who knows what that's going to be like with Secret Wars. You also have all these dumb projects that's being released, like Agatha, all along. Don't get me started with that shit. You know what? I don't want to talk about that. Marvel's, they're not out of the woods. Like Deadpool.
We went from we love Deadpool to Wolverine to fuck you, Marvel Studios.
Deadpool did not.
Fuck you, Marvel Studios.
Yeah, for real.
And fuck you, Disney. Sure. Look, that's why I said, this movie was good. It is not going to save the MCU.
It's gonna take, like I said in my review, it's gonna take more than one movie to convince me that the MCU is back.
Yeah,
and to all the people saying that this is the first time Marvel's ever had problems.
No,
even the Infinity Saga had problems.
Okay, it had problems, but they were rare, and even the movies that were not well received, at least people would look back at them and be like, you know what, they weren't as good, but they weren't to the point where we were stopped watching the Marvel movies.
Like Marvel's had problems since Phase 1.
Yeah,
you know what?
Iron Man 2, anybody?
Maybe put it like this. This is the first time where Marvel, I wouldn't even say that. This is the first time in a long time where Marvel has actually been in a dry spell, because the last time this happened was the late 2000s before Iron Man came out, because after Spider-Man 2, we got X-Men: The Last Stand, we got Ghost Rider, we had Rise of the Silver Surfer. I like that movie, but not a lot of people did. We had The Punisher, Warzone, we had
I like Punisher Warzone.
Spider-Man 3, a movie that I like, but not a lot of people did like. So the late 2000s was a pretty, dark times for Marvel before the MCU got kicked off with Iron Man and the Incredible Hulk. So now with this, however, this is way worse, because you've had multiple misses. I mean, I can count on two hands, and I don't need a lot of fingers. Actually, I do need a lot of fingers, because there's a lot of misses. I mean, number 1, She-Hulk. Number 2, WandaVision. Number 3, Moon Knight. I'm sorry, I'm not watching that piece of shit show. Number 4, Quantumania, number 5. Like I can go on and on and on. Like
I'm just gonna say the entire Phase 4, like the whole Phase 4 was just horrible.
What about
The mediocres?
Not everything, because you did have No Way
Yeah,
Home,
there's like
And
2 or
Wakanda
3.
Galaxy,
Wakanda Forever,
everything, yeah.
Loki, Wakanda Forever. Like those were bright
But there's
spots.
only like maybe 5 or 6 things you can name. Well, everything else was just
everything else, like most of it was
Yeah.
just trash.
Like with,
So-
I mean, especially
Yeah,
with
like
WandaVision,
Guardians
like
3 was Guardians 3 for me was I'm always saying it, was the only one that actually had a reason to be made. Like,
Well, Spider-Man also had a reason to be made because with how Far From Home ended, and they definitely needed to course correct.
I can watch No Way Home for sure, but even Wakanda Forever, I'm like, I'm concerned to rewatch it because I don't know if it would hold up well because
Yeah,
I'm starting
I
to
agree
agree
with you
more
because
I'm starting to agree more and more with people that it was actually more disrespectful for them to not recast Chadwick Boseman.
Well, some people feel now because like people are mad that Harrison Ford was William Hurt was recast with Harrison Ford, so it was like, why are we able to do that? Why couldn't you do that with Black Panther?
Well, you know why. You know why.
Right. We all know
And
why.
But
that was the biggest thing where a lot of people now are bringing up, like, you could have and really do something with it, but I get it at the same time.
As someone who, for the only person of color in this stream, as considering that the Black Panther movie, this is what I'm the person that this movie was made for. The reason why they did not recast Chadwick Boseman is because of the impact that Chadwick Boseman as Black Panther had on the Black community. And I'm not trying to put words in, Marvel or Kevin Feige's mouth, but they definitely felt that, Chadwick is a symbol for, the African American community, and we don't want to tarnish that or recast it and with a new face. So they just decided, okay, we're going to, honor Chadwick's memory and not recast. Me personally, I think they should have recasted his character. I feel like cutting his story short, especially after him only being in 3 movies, is definitely not the greatest idea. But hey, I mean, they did what it is. What it is. It really is what it is. I think them not recasting, it's a good thing on certain areas. There's pros and cons for each decision. If you recast this character, some people are going to have issues. If you don't recast his character, you honor his memory, but at the same time, you're ending his story after 4 movies. I'm inclined to think the latter.
I'm just waiting for the next shoe to drop when they're announcing that Christopher Marcus and Stephen McFeely are back to write these movies again.
We'll have to see, but
oh yeah, anybody remember the fact that we're supposed to be getting a Daredevil show?
Oh yeah,
what happened to that?
Yeah,
and I'm not even like saying that in bad taste. I am excited to see Matthew Cox back as
Matthew Cox. You mean
Charlie Cox?
Sorry, Charlie. That's one of it. Charlie Cox back as Matthew, but at the same time though, like, if you mess up Daredevil, I swear to God.
Well, we got Shield.
Why do you do this to yourself, Jay?
You want to know why I do this to myself? Because in all, I am a comic book nerd. Okay, and all in all, I am in fact the world's biggest geek. Look at the camera. But I do.
You take the hits so that we don't have to.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know why I do this to myself. I feel like I'm in like multiple abusive relationships. I'm in an abusive relationship with Marvel. I'm in an abusive relationship with Star Wars. Heck, I'm even in an abusive relationship with what's another popular film series that's not good right now?
DC.
Power Rangers.
Nah, DC.
Last Airbender.
DC's been fine. I guess you could say Harry Potter, since they're rebooting the series. So why are you doing that to me? But no, DC,
Yeah.
DC. I'm real. You know what? I hope DC beats Marvel. DC needs a win for once. They need a win for once.
You think Joker Fully Due might make $1 billion?
You know what?
If it's
I-
good.
Anything is possible, I suppose.
I meant
Those
to tell you guys this.
trailers look awesome. That trailer looks awesome. I am excited. Let's fucking go.
For anybody who
I'll
doesn't know,
say this
that is
about
watching.
Joker too is it looks good, but and this may be selfish of me to think of it this way, but no matter how good the movie is, I'm judging it fully on if it's necessary.
That is you know what? That's honestly a pretty. That's pretty fair.
That's a fair point.
But for me, I want. Okay, so I don't know if you guys know this, but I think I might have gone on record. I was not the biggest fan of the first Joker movie. I think the first Joker movie was decent. I think that it was, this deserved to win Best Film? No. Did I think Joaquin Phoenix did a good job as Alfred Fleck? Absolutely, he deserved the Oscar. But I personally was not a fan of making Joker making Joker the sympathetic person. I think you should never make someone
Austin,
as vile
my
and
man.
evil as the Joker sympathetic whatsoever. But however, I can't lie. Joker Filet Adieu looks pretty good with the trip. I really am mad. It's making me mad that I actually want to see this movie. I think it's making me mad because this movie actually looks. The trailers look really, really good.
We'll see, but I feel like that's about it. Do we have any final thoughts on the movie before we wrap up?
Go see it. Go see the movie.
Go see it in a movie theater.
It's a lot of fun.
So, and then whoever is hosting the next stream, feel free to announce what the next.
Well, the next stream is going to be because the person hosting the next review will be Austin, but he's not. Well, I mean, he's in the chat right now, I suppose. But he will be hosting M. Night Shyamalan's Trap. So
I hope that's good because freaking his last movie with Knock on That Cabin was pretty good. So I'm hoping that he'll keep his upward spiral going, but we'll have to see.
Honestly,
but before we wrap up, I do want to say this one last quick little thing. Even though all of us do not love this movie, I want to thank Ryan Reynolds and all the people involved for making this movie and bringing it to reality. The ways that they were able to lovingly respect Blade, Elektra, Fantastic Four, and X-Men, everything that started it all. Those movies walked so the MCU could run. The fact that they lovingly called back to all that in this movie was very commendable, and I thought it was done very well. So if this is truly the end of the Fox franchise, a franchise that, like I said at the beginning of the stream, I love very dearly, then I'm satisfied with this as a swan song for the whole picture. So yeah. We know it's obviously not done because some of them may show up in Secret Wars, but you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So that is our live thoughts on Deadpool and Wolverine, and I guess it went into our thoughts on the future of Marvel, sort of. So we'll see you when we see you next time when we are here talking about traps. So with that being said, we will see y'all next time, fellas.
Once again, we have brought light into the world. You're welcome, America.